Hey everyone, my name is Brianna David, and today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about the lesson plan that I created, integrating math and science. The title of this lesson is Rainfall Chart Time, and it is directed at a K1 level, so it's really somewhere in between those two. The topics for each subject that I chose were for math, bar graph slash chart making, and for science, um, identifying weather patterns essentially, and looking at different weather, rain in particular. The lesson objective that I have for this is, given a container and measuring device, the students will be able to measure the amount of rainfall over the course of 1 week and create a chart displaying their results. The standards I chose were for Math Common Core, organize, represent, and interpret data with up to 3 categories, ask and answer questions about the total number of data points, how many in each category, and how many more or less are in one category than in another. And the Next Generation Science Standard is use and share observations of local weather conditions to describe patterns over time. I decided that these would be good combo topics to integrate math and science together, because the students will, for this lesson, will have already learned a little bit about chart making and bar graphs and different various graphs, so they'll have experience with given data, but they won't have been able to collect data for themselves, and so this will be an awesome opportunity for them to use observation skills and measuring skills as well to look at the rain, to understand that rain falls at different levels each day. Some days have rain, some days don't. And so I thought that would be a really fun way for them to explore. So what this lesson entails is that they will begin with putting their name on on some sort of container, a coffee can or some other plastic container that they will put outside, and the next few days the container will sit outside until it rains, and after a night of rain or a day of rain, the next day the students will take the water with the container inside and very carefully, not spilling any of it, measure how much is in it. And so obviously this will depend on if there was a lot of rain or a little rain, if they will use centimeters, inches, what have you. So the ways I figured that they could measure it were either with a small ruler or with some sort of craft stick where they can mark the point at which the stick stops being wet, and they can measure that with a small ruler. And they would use these observations to put inside their science journal, where they would label each day and how much I should say, how much water they found in the container. And after getting 3 data points, so 3 days of rain, they will create a chart. And so the chart will have, it's a bar graph actually, so the bar graph will have each day, so the x-axis would represent the number of days, and then the y-axis would represent the amount of rainfall that they were able to collect. I figured that while they were in class, they would be able to do this with pencil only, and I would have a display up of a graph that I had created using different data points, so that they couldn't copy the exact graph, but that they would have an idea of what to follow. And then they could take the graph home and color it in on their own, so that each day has a different color, which makes it visually easier to understand. And then they could write 2 to 3 sentences explaining their observations. So, example, the first day had 5 more centimeters of rain than the second day. And so they can see that there were different amounts of rain on each day. They can tell me which days had more rain than others, if days were the same, how that might have been. And then for fillers, I thought that since it doesn't rain every day, students could use a website The website is nces.ed.gov, and it is a Create a Graph online website for kids particularly, where they will be able to create a bar graph. So they could click on bar graph, and that would take them directly to a web page that allows them to input data, choose colors, etc., to create a final product that looks like this. So here you see the x-axis has the day, and then the y-axis has the amount, and so these would be 3 data points. And that's the lesson, and I hope kids would enjoy it and understand a little bit of science and a little bit of math. Thank you for watching.